My company is called Progression. We are in the credit repair business, and my job title is Direct Response Marketing Manager. So in my job in a typical day, I manage a few different channels within our marketing department. Specifically, my job is to take leads that have come into our marketing channel and haven't converted and do what's called lead nurturing to try to convince them to come back to our business and purchase. I do that through those 4 channels, which are email, SMS, direct mail, and then also outbound dial. The recommended training for a position like mine would definitely be a bachelor's degree in either communications, marketing, business, or something along those lines. A master's degree is helpful, but definitely not required. They definitely would prefer on-the-job training over a master's degree in most cases. In terms of entry-level positions, typically you'll find a job as like a marketing coordinator. To be honest, as most entry-level jobs are, you'll spend a lot of your time compiling data, compiling information, doing more of the kind of day-to-day work and less of the strategy. But in terms of finding a good entry-level job, I would definitely look for one that does allow you to be involved at least in some level in the marketing strategy portion, because that's really what's going to help you grow and prepare you for advancement into higher level positions. For specific skills that would be required or helpful in a position like this, I would say a balance between kind of your right brain and your left brain. Left brain being the more analytical, data-driven side, and right brain being the more kind of creative and artistic side. In marketing, you really have to have a good combination of both. You have to be able to come up with interesting campaigns and ideas and kind of out-of-the-box thinking on that right brain creative side. But you also have to have the balance of the left brain data piece side to make sure you're analyzing your campaigns, tracking your metrics, making sure that the campaigns you're putting in place are producing the results that you want. So it's really about having that balance between the left and the right brain side. For my particular position, in terms of technology that I use, the main technology I use on a day-to-day basis is what's called an email service provider. That's the tool that sends out all of those emails that I mentioned that I manage. We also use that tool for all of our SMS sending as well. It really helps automate things. Every month we send almost 3 million emails and about 2.5 million text messages. And that piece of technology lets me build kind of a program flow of when each email should go out and when each text message should go out, and then automates that process. If it was something I had to manage one email and one text message at a time, it would be impossible. But that piece of technology, it's with a company called Responses, really allows us to automate that process and make sending that much volume possible. The most important duties or activities that I do in my position is really about growing my channel. The company that I'm working at, there's multiple different marketing channels within our department, and the company itself is growing very rapidly. And so specifically what I've been taxed with is growing my percentage of the company's overall sales. When I started at the company a few years ago, my channel was only doing about 2% of the company's sales every single month. And I was tasked with growing that, and just this last month we reached 6% of the company overall sales. So there's been a lot of work every single day with optimizing, trying to come up with new creative ideas, new emails, new text messages, new direct mail letters to try to collect more information and generate more sales to grow that overall percentage of the pie. If you have a pie and everybody has their own slice, it's been to grow my slice as big as I possibly can. With challenges that I face in my particular position and at my company, our company is a little unique in that we don't have a lot of competition. My company owns over half of the entire market share for the industry we're in, which is credit repair. So really, most of the challenges I face at work is how to keep our competitors away, how to keep innovating, how to keep being creative and make sure that we don't allow our competitors to catch up to us. When you're as dominant in a market as we are, it's really easy to kind of just sit back and rest on your laurels and just let things kind of go on autopilot. So the challenge is making sure that we're always innovating and growing. In terms of pros and cons of my particular position working with my company, I love the fact that I get to use, kind of what I said earlier, both my analytical side and my creative side. There's not a lot of jobs that allow you to do both. There's jobs that, you know, are really heavy on one or the other. This job's really a balance. It also, in terms of just work and life balance, it's got great flexible hours. It allows me to go to work and work hard. It's very performance driven. It's not about how many hours you're working in a day. It's going in, getting your work done, hitting your sales and your marketing goals, and then going home to spend time with your family. So those are kind of some of the pros. In terms of cons, it can be a lot of pressure. You know, you have aggressive goals that you're supposed to hit, and it's up to you to hit them. You know, so you kind of have to make sure that you're innovating and being creative and making sure you do what it takes to make sure you're hitting those goals. When it comes to benefits or perks, it really depends on the company you work for. I happen to work for a company currently that does a really good job of having a lot of fun perks and benefits. I haven't always worked at companies that have done a good job. This company, we have a fully stocked break room full of food and drinks, and there's a big TV with an Xbox and a foosball table. They try to make work fun. We also do, every quarter we go and do a quarterly activity. We've gone and done indoor skydiving, we've played paintball, we've gone and done bobsledding up at the Olympic Park. A lot of fun activities, really to try to make it a fun place to work. Those are definitely perks or benefits that you can find if you find a company that's really kind of focused on their employees. In terms of advancement, there's a pretty standard set of titles that you'll find in most marketing companies. Typically you'll start out as a marketing coordinator, then move to either like an analyst or a strategist. Then you'll typically go to a marketing manager, and then marketing director, and then vice president, and on up. And so there's obviously different tiers within those. Sometimes you'll be a junior manager or a senior manager. With my company, there's definitely places for me to move and grow. You know, my next step would be to become a director, which is something I'm hoping to do, you know, in the next year or so. But there's definitely room for advancement. In terms of what extra trainings or things like that would benefit me in my position, I currently have a bachelor's degree in marketing from BYU. Definitely if I wanted some additional training, a lot of people in my position do elect to go back and get an MBA or a master's in marketing or something along those lines. Specifically if you want to go into kind of an aggressive management track, that's definitely a benefit. Also try to get a good breadth of understanding. I mentioned that I kind of focus on 4 main channels, but there's a lot of other marketing channels that if I wanted to grow, I should learn more about, like online with paid search and natural search for, you know, online marketing, or social media, or partner and affiliate marketing. And there's lots of other areas that I could grow in terms of breadth, which is something that I am working on doing. My best advice for somebody looking to obtain a position like mine is you have to be passionate about what you're doing. You know, in marketing especially, if you don't have that passion, you're not going to work out long term. You have to be passionate about the data behind all of your marketing, about making sure that all the numbers match up. You have to be passionate about being creative and figuring out different ways to reach people and to innovate and to grow. If you don't have that passion, it's very easy to just kind of go through the motions and, you know, just kind of do the basics, but that's not how you excel in a position like this. It has to be something that you really want to be doing. So I would say passion is the most important thing.